If you're still running manual campaigns on Meta in 2026, you're fighting the algorithm instead of working with it. Advantage Plus is Meta's most powerful campaign type right now, and it uses AI to handle your targeting, your placements, and your budget allocation completely automated. And the results are beating manual campaigns by 20 to 30% on average. But here's the problem. Most people set it up wrong. They click a few buttons, leave the defaults on, and then blame the system when it does not work. Advantage Plus is powerful, but only if you know what levers to touch and which ones to leave alone. I'm going to walk you through the entire setup from scratch, step by step, inside the Ads Manager. So by the end of this video, you'll have a fully optimized Advantage Plus campaign ready to launch. If you're new to this channel, my name's Christian Jamal. I've spent well over $100 million on paid ads, and on this channel, I film videos specifically for businesses that are scaling with Meta ads for their lead generation. Everything on here is about helping you actually understand Meta, run better ads, and scale without guessing. So let's dive in. Now, let me give you quick context on why Advantage Plus even exists in the first place. For years, running Meta ads meant manually picking your audiences, manually choosing your placements, manually setting up your bids. You were making hundreds of micro decisions and hoping you picked the right combination. In 2026, Meta's Andromeda algorithm is smarter than any media buyer in the world. It processes data from billions of users across the entire platform. It knows who's likely to convert before your ad even gets served. Advantage Plus is Meta saying, stop trying to outsmart our AI, give us your creative, give us your budgets, tell us your goal, and get out of the way. And when you actually do that, when you set it up correctly and trust the system, it works. The algorithm finds audiences you would have never thought to target. It shifts budget to the placements that are performing best. It tests creative combinations automatically. It's like having a media buyer that works 24 hours a day and never makes emotional decisions. But the key phrase is set it up correctly. Let me show you exactly how. So now that we're in the Ads Manager, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how simple it is to run a Advantage Plus campaign. So the first thing you wanna do is you wanna click Create, and we wanna select our objective. For the sake of this example, I'm gonna go with leads because that's the majority of my audience, okay? So I'm gonna click Continue here, and here you just wanna change the campaign name. We're gonna call it, for example, Advantage Plus, and we're gonna put a dash, and then it's gonna be prospecting, okay? Now, everything else, even though you have a bunch of buttons you can do, you can change the buying type, the campaign objective, the campaign budget, ad set budget. If you select ad set budget, you can even have a share some of your budget with other ad sets. You want to keep everything the same. Honestly, you're going to do way less work than you think. So you want to put your budget here. Now, granted, if you have a bigger budget, like $100, $200, $300 a day, you're probably going to benefit from a different campaign structure a little bit better. And I teach it completely free. It's the first link in the description. It's my click to client system. It's like 20 hours worth of material completely for free, okay? But for the sake of this example, we're gonna do $20 a day as the campaign budget. We're gonna keep it small, to the point. This is a test, okay? If you're in a special ad category, make sure to select that as well. So if you sell insurance, just say financial products. If you're a real estate agent, you can say housing, etc. But everything else stays the same. We're gonna click next. Now, I'm gonna put my page here for the conversion, and we're gonna be using instant forms. You wanna keep this at 100 on top. You just wanna make sure that that stays the case, okay? Now, the next thing you wanna do is you always wanna watch out for where it says advantage on and where it says nothing, okay? So for the bidding and schedule, you wanna make sure to put 11:59 p.m. in your specific time zone, okay? Because if your budget is like, let's say, whatever, like we're gonna use this $20 as an example. If it's trying to spend all the $20 between 6 p.m. and midnight, it might not actually find the audience that is the best for you. And typically with these campaigns, the launch is the most important because that's when it gathers the most data. So there's like two things happening. Andromeda is using data from all Facebook accounts to help optimize yours, but then it's also using your own data to optimize your account. So you want to make sure that both are good, okay? Now, when it comes down to the audience, I would only recommend changing this based on the type of business that you are. So if you can advertise in the entire country, just leave this the way it is. But if you can only advertise in a specific area, so let's call it, for example, Tampa, Florida, that would be what you would do. You would just leave it as is. If you're a local business, I recommend your radius to be closer to like 15 to 10 miles. But regardless, that is the only thing you're wanting to do. And if you're a local business, you want to make sure that you uncheck this box right here. Reach people likely to respond with your ads. Now, keep in mind that Advantage Plus would like you to keep this on, but there are certain features that are still not very good. So it's going to, for example, reach people likely to respond in your ad. If I move here the map a little bit and I end up in Orlando, it might find you some leads in Orlando, but the Orlando leads are never actually going to drive to Tampa because it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours in traffic to get here. Okay, so you want to use Meta's suggestions, but Meta doesn't know your customers' buying behavior when it comes to physically coming to a business, okay? So even though this drops 2 points, it's not bad, so we're gonna keep it as is, okay? The next thing you wanna see here is more controls. You wanna see that your minimum age is an age that you actually can serve. Typically, I like to put this at 25, just so that we make sure that we have people that potentially have a job, they're not in school, etc. And everything else when it comes to the audience side, I don't like to touch. But you have a lot more options. So you can do age as a suggestion. So you see here it says your suggestion. You can even do further the limit reach of your ads and customize this significantly further. But this is kind of like the original way that Meta ran the ads. Now, if you're an expert, you've ran a lot of ads, this strategy is still very, very powerful. And I teach it in the Click to Client system. But for the sake of this example, you don't want to do that. And here you just want to put like broad interest related to what it is that you're doing. Let's say we're selling a dog training program and we can only service the Tampa local area. We're going to just put dog health pets as an interest just to kind of like guide it a little bit. You can leave it broad, but you can also guide it. And this is technically still considered an Advantage Plus. If you look at the campaign score and the Advantage On is still there, then that's perfect. When it comes down to the placements, I always leave this Advantage on. You are able to edit your placements, but I don't recommend you do that. Meta's gonna do all of that for you. So now the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this interest and we're gonna put it as the name. We're gonna do Advantage Plus, and then we're doing dog health pets, and then we're doing 25 plus, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the ads, and you can go onto the ads by clicking it or just scrolling down, clicking next. And here is where we're gonna start giving Meta all the tools it needs to succeed. So we're gonna do ad one, and I personally like to uncheck multi-advertiser ads, okay? Because what this is gonna do is it's going to show your ad at the end of your competitors' ads, but in exchange, it's going to also show your competitors at the end of your ads. You're gonna deal with a lot of, I'm waiting on some other quotes, things like that. I would recommend you just skip that entirely. Now, you can create an instant form, but we're not gonna do that for this situation. This is not the goal of this video. We're basically just setting up the campaign. We are then going to set up a creative. So we're gonna select a bunch of images. These images are gonna be not relevant to this campaign. I'm just showing you guys an example. And here for the primary text, it says not optimized. We want to create primary text specific to this ad. So I do have strategies to write primary text and headlines and descriptions, but we're not actually gonna use that. So for the sake of this example, I'm just gonna say, train your dog, and I'm gonna fix this here in a sec, but I'm just gonna just show you guys what the ad setup looks like. So you put your primary text, your headline, your description, and then the call to action, I like to use learn more. We then have image enhancements. This part I am not a fan of. You wanna make sure that all of these are unselected. And then all of this stuff as well, you wanna make sure to deselect these things, deselect, 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 okay? All of these, for some reason, even though they're suggested, they actually don't do very well. So after that, you're gonna click done, and this is what we're gonna be presented with. Now, as long as your campaign score is above 90, I think it's really good. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start letting the system come up with some primary texts for us. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually have to create some legitimate primary text. So let me go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. I'm going to just open up Claude. And let me double check, make sure I am logged in on this browser. All right, perfect. So now we're gonna actually ask Claude to help us. I am a dog training company out of Tampa, Florida. I service people within a 10 to 15 mile radius. I want you to give me a Meta Ads primary text, headline, and description. For the headline, I want it to be 5 words or less, punchy, straight to the point, call to action focused. For the description, I'd like you to give me a short sentence that adds urgency. For the primary text, I'd like it to have this principle of PPPC, which is problem, promise, proof, and then call to action. And I want it to be heavily centered around training dogs that have a lot of anxiety, for example. Okay, so we're gonna be using this copy right here. And primary text, is your dog consistently anxious, reactive, or out of control? Most Tampa dog owners struggle for months trying to fix it on their own. Boom, boom, boom. All right, 2. All right, cool. We're gonna basically take these here. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna paste it here. And then now you're gonna see that the Advantage Plus Creative is gonna generate versions of this for us, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just fix the spacing, the barking, etc. Cool. Okay, perfect. We specialize in this message today. We'll talk about your dog. Okay. All right, perfect. We're gonna turn this on right here to tailor to personas, and we're gonna do the same thing for the headline, okay? Apply all 4 of these, and then boom. Is your dog's anxiety stealing their joy? Love it. Desperate dog lovers. Is your dog trapped in a cycle of anxiety and fear? Months of struggling, barking, pulling, hiding. It's taking a toll. Yes. Proactive pet parents. More to consider. We're going to select all of these. We're going to also do the same thing for the headline. So stop your dog's anxiety now. I like that. That's very straight to the point, punchy. And now the same thing we're going to do here. We're going to apply all of these. It's going to calm your anxious dog today, transform your anxious dog in Tampa, etc. For the descriptions, we're going to try to add some urgency. We're going to say claim, where is it? Spots are limited, claim yours before they're gone. You can add description options, but honestly, the descriptions are not that important. So that's pretty much it. We're going to then go ahead and just duplicate this. I would say, let's say 5 times. And now we have add 1, we have add 2, 3, all the way through 6. And now the only thing you'd want to do is change the image. That's the only thing you are testing. And the fact that you're giving Meta all of this inside the same ad set, Meta is going to decide where to spend the money. So what I would do is I would go to add to, I would scroll down to the image, I'll press the little trash, add image. We're going to select this other image that is also, I guess, the dog training one. You can always do the originals for these. I'm not a big fan of the recommended ones, even though that is technically Advantage Plus. Everything else here stays the same. You click next, but you want to make sure to deselect all of these. So turn off, turn off, turn off, off, text improvements, and add animation. Click done, and then boom, you're good to go. Add 2 is done. You want to do the same thing for add 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the last thing you do, you just click review and publish, and you're pretty much good to go. A few things I want to call out that people get wrong. Number 1, they add too many restrictions. The whole point of Advantage Plus is to let the algorithm breathe, let it find your audience, let it add a bunch of interests, let it change the targeting, the testing, the age, the geographic limits. You're putting the AI in a box and it cannot do its job. Give it a seed audience as a suggestion and then let it expand. And then trust the system. Now, granted, you want to make sure that you can sell these people. So if you can't sell people beyond a certain area, then make sure to select that. Number 2, they use weak creatives. Advantage Plus amplifies whatever you give it. If you give it 3 boring stock photo ads, it's not going to get people to convert well. The AI handles the distribution. You are the one that is still handling the creative. That's the deal. Give it strong, diverse, native-looking ads, and the algorithm has something to work with. Number 3, they panic too early. The first 7 days of an Advantage Plus campaign can look rough. CPAs might be high, spend might be inconsistent. That is completely normal. The algorithm is learning and it's testing the audiences. It's testing the placement. It's testing the creative combination. If you start making changes before day 21, you reset the entire learning phase and you're back at 0. Be patient. Let the data build. So if you do those 3 things, open targeting, strong creative, and patience, Advantage Plus will outperform any manual campaign you've ever run. I've seen it across hundreds of accounts, and it's not even close. Now, real quick, if you want to go deeper on this, Meta ads, Google ads, funnels, automations, AI, I built a complete system called Click to Client, and it's completely free. There's no catch. The link is right below this video. Click it and get access and start building today. And before I let you guys go, if you want me to set this up for your business personally and work with me one-on-one, the link is in the description for that as well. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.